Welcome to the wonderful world of teaching, where I share practical classroom tips and tricks in hopes that you will find a little magic along the way. I'm Hannah, and today I'm sharing a little bit about the quiet magic of classroom management. This is my Spark series, and today I'm going to focus on consistency. This is by far the hardest part of classroom management, and it's also the marathon of all Sparks. It's not something that's a quick fix. We have to constantly be revising and going over our classroom management strategies if we want that consistency. There's 3 things that we need for our classroom management in order to stay consistent. First one, patience. The next one is a willingness to continue to teach these skills. And the last one is mindset shifts. So patience. This is something that is probably the hardest thing about teaching, is this constant need to be reteaching skills. And that's just something that comes along with this. I've taught in elementary, so little kids, whether it's middle schoolers or high schoolers, they're still kids at heart and they're still learning. And if you think about middle school and high school, their days are rotating constantly. So they're going from different classrooms to different classrooms, likely with different expectations or no expectations from teachers. So when they come to your classroom, you have to kind of reset and shift the tone. Those students have been in all sorts of classrooms. They're all coming together now at this. So there is a bit of that classroom management that does need to be reset. So patience. Like I said, it's the marathon of all of these Sparks. It's something that you're just gonna have to recognize that every day you're gonna have to reteach these skills and the willingness to teach, which was my second one. So anytime you're teaching routines and procedures, likely it's at the beginning of the year, but there's also that time after breaks or when you realize like, wow, I just haven't been teaching good routines, and it might be in the middle of the year. And that's okay. Whenever it is, something you need to know is that it's hard before it gets easy. So anytime you're teaching something new, especially a routine or procedure, when you're asking students to follow directions that they've not previously done, it's going to be harder. And so take time and practice that and give grace to everybody, including yourself. Don't expect that they're going to get it right all the time. And if they get it right on Tuesday and they don't on Wednesday, it's okay. So, the patience and the willingness to reteach kind of go hand in hand. When you're teaching new strategies, you need to reteach it, you need to practice it. And part of that, there's that modeling piece and then practicing it outside of actually doing it. Hey, this is what we're going to be doing now. When we come in, we need to put our things away. Kids have already come in. Okay, everybody grab your things. Let's try it. Let's everybody put it where it needs to go. And I'm sure that, for older kids, they might roll their eyes at you, but at some point it'll get to be routine, and I'm sure they're actually going to look forward to it because structure really is helpful for students. They do enjoy knowing where things go. And if they know that, I'm going to go to so-and-so's class and I already know what's expected of me, that does kind of ease anxiety. The last one, this mindset shift, was a huge thing for me. As a perfectionist and the student that sat at the front of the class and always raised their hand, I expect perfection. I expect if I'm going to teach you something that you now know that that's always how it's going to be. However, if I don't have accountability and I'm not willing to help my students learn, which when I learned that, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course, my kids are here to learn. Obviously, as a new teacher, it was like, well, yes, I'm teaching them academics. I'm teaching them these skills. But I recognize that if I want them to be successful, I also have to teach them how to be successful in this classroom. And that was reteaching routines. It was recognizing, wow, today's a hard day. And sometimes even just verbalizing that to class. Wow, today's kind of a hard day. Let's see if we can practice this routine again. And just kind of pulling yourself out of that emotional set. I think as teachers, there's so much on our shoulders and there's so much pressure, and most of us already are kind of perfectionists. We loved learning, we loved school, and now we're here, and we expect a lot of our students. And sometimes I think we forget that they still are kids and they still need reminders, they need guidelines. So instead of, because I don't like to remind, I really don't. It is frustrating to have to, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. If I've already built it into my schedule, hey, it's our morning, let's all practice, this is what we're doing, and we kind of just continue to do it that way, and that becomes a part of our classroom, is this practiced routine. Then I don't have to feel disappointed if my expectations aren't met. I know we're all learning, so if I'm just building that into my day, then I don't need to get upset. So that was a huge mindset shift for me, is just knowing that my kids are learning. Now they may get it and they may be able to do these routines on their own and follow procedures, and that's great. But I think there's always that mindset that you may have to reteach these. You may have to do it all year long for your kiddos, but having that as part of, this is just part of our day, this is what our school year looks like. It's gonna vary year to year too. Sometimes classes, it's just different. Different students need different things, as we all know that. So those were my 3 things with consistency and any routines that you're doing, is to have patience with it. And I always say this, but also grace too. Like, I think overall, as I shared with that mindset shift and the willingness to learn, is just that grace that we're all gonna get there. And then willingness to learn, being able to willingness to reteach the skills, having this understanding that, okay, we're just gonna reteach it, even building that in when you're coming back from a break or a long weekend, or you've got new students coming in, whatever it may be. And then lastly, that mindset shift, because really students are learning, and we don't know what they're walking in each school day with. And we went into education to help our students be amazing people in the world, and just investing that time and giving them a little extra grace, a little extra support, and providing structure for them. That consistency does need to come with accountability too. So when students aren't following directions, there does need to be a consequence, but recognizing that they're still learning, I think, does create a different approach. It makes sure that our high expectations, you guys should know this by now, right? Those unmet expectations cause frustration for us. Our emotions get wrapped into us. That's when sometimes, bubble up and we explode. And so that mindset shift, I think, really does help, is just recognizing, okay, my kids are still learning. I'm still learning too, right? We're working together this year. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share this with anyone else who is a new teacher, or you just think might benefit from the Spark series, or consistency as a whole in their classroom management. I hope you'll continue to follow me along with this adventure of our classroom management Spark series. With that, I'll see you at the next one.